You're hard to miss.
Thank you.
White light all around you.
I'm in recovery.
Yeah?
And
I've recovered.
Wow. Really? I've recovered, all right. But my challenge is that...
My opportunity is
that the recovery...
thing I'm most interested in, excited about.
The recovery program tells me that I need to be in constant service. I need to go to meetings.
Here you are. Serving all of us. The clarity of that which is you.
How do I balance all this? Because sometimes it gets very overwhelming, and sometimes we get...
Well, balance is a perfect word, because an overwhelming means out of balance. So you strive to keep yourself in balance, but you do it by starting on the first thing. In other words, you sort of have to get a head start on it. Have you been listening to us for a little while?
Yeah.
And sometimes we hear people say something that sounds just like this. Abraham, I've jumped out of an airplane. I don't have a parachute. What should I do now? And we say, hang on, it will be over in a little bit.
Right.
Because sometimes there is momentum. And to think that you're going to take that kind of momentum and just turn it around all of a sudden, you're not going to. But you start with easier and easier things. And the easiest way is by just beginning your day by looking for things that feel good and practicing those things until they get a little bit of momentum going, and you start noticing the evidence of the well-being, and then you're off and running. We know it is that simple, and it sounds too simplistic, but it is that simple. We'll hear you.
The challenge that I'm having is with the so-called step 4 in
What is
recovery,
it? What
which
is
is where we take inventory of our lives and we find out where we were wrong, and then we move on later on to step 9 where we make amends. And I could remember one of your recordings where you were in Florida on a workshop and you entered some directions on your GPS and you went the wrong way, and then you guys finally corrected your way, and then you said to Jerry, oh, why don't we go back and find out where we made the mistakes? And Jerry told you, why don't you just drop it and we focus on the way
Let's just go
ahead.
where we want to go. Now we know which way it is. Yeah.
But we have to find out what our errors were so we don't repeat them again in our future.
Well, we just have one question, and we're not wanting to take issue with anything that's working for anyone.
Right.
We just want to ask you one question. Is there any question in your mind about where you went wrong?
No.
So do we have to beat that drum until it becomes your chronic now? Or can you stop beating that drum and start beating the drum of where you've gone right? You see, it's this vibrational... If you hear what we're saying, that law of attraction is responding to you here and now. So here you are. I get it, Abraham. Law of attraction is responding to me. This is my point of power. My point of power is right now. And source energy is shining to me and through me and adoring me. So my best resonance is to find that feeling. My most powerful beingness is to find resonance with my inner being who adores me, who appreciates me, who adores me, who loves me unconditionally. But I can't do that right now. I got to do step 4. I can't do that right now. So I'm gonna make a list of all the things that I did wrong, and I know full well that my inner being will not go there with me, because my inner being never goes there with me when I beat up on myself. So I'm just going to do step 4, and I'm out here on the raw and ragged edge because my inner being isn't going to come with me, because my inner being will not condemn me just because I am condemning me. And in fact, the negative emotion that I feel is evidence that my inner being will not join me. If my inner being would join me on the beat up on me phase of this 12-step process, then I wouldn't feel the separation between my inner being and me, because there would be no separation, because my inner being would be beating up on me too. But since my inner being won't beat up on me, then I'm choosing to beat up on me, which means I'm choosing to separate myself from me, and I am delaying my recovery, because my recovery is all about my full resonance with the well-being that is mine to have. Ooh, that was the best ever. The best ever. So now, but let's take it a little further here. So I get it about my point of attraction, and I understand about this resonance, and I understand that Source has pointed to me and through me. So you all heard all of that. Now we want to talk about something, because this is a subject that we began with here today. And it's a subject that you are so ready to understand, that you are so ready to allow things to begin to manifest in your experiences in the way that you've wanted. You're so ready to actually give the physical birth and have the realization of so many of these things as they move from your vortex of creation into your point of attraction, into your grid, into your climate, into your atmosphere, into your beingness where you are. So, as you stand in any moment, talking about all of you, as you stand in any moment, you are doing one of two things. You are either reacting to something that's going on in the physical world, or you are reacting to the grid that you have prepared. You know the phrase you all use all the time? Maybe not so much anymore, but it was rampant for a while. I want to let you know where I'm coming from. Well, are you coming from your practiced climate alignment with Source? Or are you coming from this vantage point that humans have about one thing or another? And you've trained yourself to come from that vantage point. In other words, that's what very conditional love is. When I look out into the world and I look at that condition, I feel good. And so I'm experiencing love, but it's a conditional love because I needed that condition to present itself to me, and I needed to sift and sort and find that condition. And now that I found that condition that causes me to feel good, I feel love, but it is a conditional love. Would you agree to that? Mm-hmm. Now, because I'm looking out there, because that's what I'm used to doing, because I'm used to caring what this one thinks and this one thinks and this one thinks. I've been taking the polls of my own life. I've been listening to others. So I've conditioned myself to look for conditions in order to make me feel good. But I'm sort of all over the map on that because the squeaking wheel sort of gets my attention. So when I see a condition that makes me feel good, fortunately my conditional love does feel good, but when I see a condition that makes me feel bad, now I feel like I need to control that condition, but I can't because it's happening in another part of the world or because it's happening to someone else. So now my conditional love isn't serving me very well because I can't control the conditions. You're with us so far, aren't you? Yeah. What condition can you control? What can you control? You can control your relationship with Source. You can control the thoughts you think right now. You can control the momentum that you get going. You can control waking up and looking for positive aspects. You can control how lovely you feel about yourself in time. You can control that. And that is what unconditional love is. It's never needing the conditions. Jerry and Esther's wonderful book publisher said to them early on, don't read the reviews. And Jerry said, but look at all of these really favorable reviews. And Reed said, yeah, the favorable ones will call you and the unfavorable ones will break your heart. Don't practice the condition. Don't practice needing approval from out there. Find it where it's always offered, because Source is loving you unconditionally, whether you're on step 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12. Source has always loved you. It is your finding reasons not to love you that is at the heart of everything that has been uncomfortable to you from the beginning of your conscious awareness that you were uncomfortable, you see. So we're not saying throw the program away. We're saying modify it in your own mind. Okay, step 4 accomplished.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This idea of reality and vibrational reality versus the reality that we interpret with our 5 senses. I'm really interested in. I'm clear that I have my own internal dialogue that's going on in my head, my own personal reality, and I know everyone has that. By the time I have become a vibrational match to something that's in my vortex, so much so that others can see it, is it that I have now become a vibrational match for the them that also sees it?
Yes, in part. But this is the most important thing. Long before you became that which others could see, you had that vibration going on. And them seeing it just means it was going on long enough that you got enough momentum going that it became obvious to everyone. In other words, that's that birth that we were talking about earlier. And we know sometimes these conversations are not very satisfying to you because you say, well, rah, 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 vibrational reality. I want the money in my bank where I can spend it. I want the experiences. And we say, it has to be enough for you for a while. If you are looking for the evidence of your vibrational accomplishment in the form of emotion and finding it, and you are willing to continue to be pleased with the emotional evidence for a while, the rest of the evidence in every manner that you're speaking of will come to you. But if you get to that place where you say the emotional evidence is not enough, it's not enough for me to just feel optimistic or happy about this or trusting, I can no longer hold myself there, then we say the momentum will slip away from you. You see, it is a progressive thing. So it's really worth hanging in there and feeling good for no logical reason until the reason shows up. That really is what we're talking about.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let me ask one more question. Last question. I had an experience a few months ago that was really, it felt very profound to me and I enjoyed it, and I'm just curious if you have any insight on it. It didn't feel like a dream that you have at night when you sleep. It felt like an alternate consciousness where I was aware of basically kind of like a different version of myself and a different version of my mom in what I was interpreting in my perception of it as kind of almost like an alternate physical reality. Are there such things?
Yes, but this is the way we would describe it. In your deliberate working to find alignment with who you are and finding it much of the time, you are coming to resonate in this more steady recognition of this non-physical perspective. So you are beginning, in many ways, to see your world through the eyes of Source. When you find yourself saying something that is way better than you've ever said it before, that's one of those resonant moments when you are an extension of that Source energy. And so some people want to call those out-of-body experiences. We want to call it seeing the world through the eyes of Source. And it does feel like a different vantage point because it's not a vantage point that people often experience. Esther often describes it to others. When she's driving often, it doesn't feel to her as if her wheels are on the road. There's a sort of ethereal quality to her moment in time where she's perceiving things. She's aware of what's happening in traffic even before anyone's signaling. She sort of knows what that one's going to do. She sort of finds her place in her driving pod. She sort of knows where she wants to be. It's like she's allowing the non-physical aspect of her to view her world. And the reason that we love so much giving this picture to you and affirming back to you the experience that you had is because this is the way you all have intended to live in your physical bodies. You intended to find vibrational, it's what we talk about all day so far here today, alignment with this broader part of yourself so that the total you is present in the moment. So that the fullness of you, we love you so much, but you have such a screwy perspective of how the Source fits in with that which you are. You've separated yourself from Source, made Source smarter and wiser, when Source is flowing to you and through you, unconditionally. Unconditional love, unconditional knowing, unconditional good driving, unconditional knowing where the radar is, unconditional appreciation, unconditional clarity, unconditional things are always working out for you, unconditional. And as you find reason to believe that and know that, a little piece here and a little piece here, and practice it, you're going to have far more moments like that where you can feel the whole of who you are present in this moment, which is what each and every one of you meant for each and every moment. Not one of you said, I'll go forth. I know you're available, but I'll pinch myself off from you, and then you can measure me against all the others who've pinched themselves off.